Welcome back to the 41st Annual Carnival Grand Parade in the Mission District in San Francisco.
There you see Chico Danza Azteca. Now, these are folks dancing to the rhythms of their native Mexican ancestors. They've been participating in Carnival since 1987. Most of them are Mission District residents.
Yes, and they are also very active in the community, protesting issues ranging from forced evictions, which we've been talking about this morning, and also police use of force. Now, you can tell that this is a very spiritual practice for these dancers. It's not just performing to them, it's praying with their bodies and giving thanks to their ancestors. They actually do a prayer before the parade gets started, right?
And they ask Mother Earth and Father Sky for permission to be in the parade, and they do a blessing for everybody, and they cleanse our streets. And the copal, the smoke that you see is copal, which is used as part of our tradiciones and ceremonias, so that it cleanses our hearts, our spirits, our mind. When people pass away, or when somebody's born, or for a wedding, for many of the traditions it's used. And for the parade here today, it's part of the ceremonia, is to cleanse our streets, from any negative energy, in our community. And so we're getting a good cleansing today by the danzantes.
We want to listen in for a bit.
You mentioned Carnival is it's a reunion for families, but it's also an opportunity for folks to get back in touch with their culture. A lot of people are of different backgrounds. We're all still learning a lot about our indigenous background, beyond the Roman Catholic that a lot of Latinos have been worshiping. We know more now about our indigenous background, and as we try to bridge back to our cultures, a lot more people are actually indulging in some of the traditions.
It's about learning your roots. For me, it made me whole to really learn my roots. And on my father's side, we're Mayan, and I've gone through the Yucatan, through Guatemala to go learn and study. I found out we have our own dialect. In fact, in the Mayan community, we have 31 different dialects within the Mayan language. I also learned, about our own ceremonies, which is different from the Aztec ceremonias. There are some similarities, but we have our also food. I found, the Mayans, the first ones to plant cacao, and I say the Mayans sweeten up the world with chocolate.
All right, we have 3 Grand Marshals for today's parade. First up, there you see Dr. Concepcion Concha Sacero Martinez. She's an author and community activist for more than 50 years, a grandmother of 8.
A grandmother of 8, that's amazing. She is a Mexicana Yaqui Chicana. All 3. Concha was raised in a traditional indigenous environment, and she has a doctorate in psychology. Impressive. She integrates traditional healing with Western health practices.
We should mention Jorge Molina, also on that float, also a Grand Marshal. He is a musical composer and curator for the Mission Arts Performance Project.
Yeah, he was one of the creators of the Mission Cultural Center for Latino Arts more than 50 years ago, so a lot of people know him. And they are both sponsored by Kaiser Permanente.
And now your 3rd Grand Marshal, there you see him, Archbishop Franco King, the co-founder of the St. John Coltrane Church, a longtime fighter for justice in black and brown communities. He brings to us the music of John Coltrane, but he's also spending a lot of time on the front lines, helping folks with evictions and foreclosures, and speaking out about police relations. That float, sponsored by Lyft.
Listening to him play. It's pretty cool, huh?
It's a church. You can go every Sunday and listen to that music.
Oh, yeah.
And he brought the whole church. You know, when I invited him to be our Grand Marshal, he says, well, my brother, he says, you know, I have service on Sundays. I said, well, Archbishop, I said, bring the church to Carnival. And so he went to the following Sunday. He told the congregation that he had been invited, you know, to be the Grand Marshal, and that I suggested that he bring the church to Carnival. And he said they rose up and screamed, hallelujah.
Well, we're so glad he did. So walking close behind them, it's our first school entry today. This is exciting. The Fiesta Gardens International School. They are from the San Mateo City School District.
Yeah, Spanish Immersion International School representing Latin America and the Caribbean. And their costumes represent all of those different cultures.
All right, Ann Makovic is talking to someone along the parade route. Oh,
yes,
you have a new friend.
The lovely Isabella, who is here to represent her school. How old are you?
I am 9 years old.
9 years old. And what is it like to be here today? What are you going to tell your friends when you go back to school?
I'm going to tell them how cool it was to be on TV. And I always had a dream to be on TV, and I want to be a singer when I grow up.
Oh, wonderful. Dreams are coming true today. Thanks, Isabella. Let's have you catch back up with your school there. You did fabulous.
I mean, Ann, you better watch out. She could take your job right there. She could take all of our jobs.
Look at her. She is star quality.
Making the dreams come true, Ann Makovic.
Isabella is so adorable. So right behind Isabella is Comunidad Yucateca. The beautiful dresses there. I love this. They represent the Maya community from the Yucatan. So let's welcome them. They've been part of Carnival San Francisco since 2003. A long time.
They're bringing different dance troupes, 3 of them from the Bay Area, as well as 2 from Los Angeles and Portland. And that's what they do every year, bringing these dance troupes together. They're also bringing a tradition of Havana Yucatec to the parade.
Yeah, the jarana, it's a particular style of music and dance that includes the traditional costumes, 2-piece for women. So help me with this, Roberto. It's the 2-piece
Wapel.
Wapel. Got it. That's what the women wear.
Yeah, and so that's what I was talking about. You know, I was talking about earlier about Yucatan, you know, and that's one of the, when I went to the Yucatan, you know, I really, wow, I never had seen this tradition. And so today there's a lot of Mayans that are living here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'll tell you, I live right here on Florida Street near Cesar Chavez Street. And I started hearing the dialect one day, and I went up to them and I said, Mayan? And they said, yeah. And so now we have several Mayan restaurants here in the Bay Area, and here actually in the Mission we have 3 of them. But it just makes me feel so whole, you know, just to know who I am, my music, our culture, our traditions, our food.
And one other thing, you know, often when you're the other sitting in the classroom and you're a so-called minority in this country, if you don't know your roots, you think, oh, yeah, we came from the scum of the earth, my immigrant forefathers were just the workers, right? But also, these folks were they come from one of the greatest kingdoms that ever walked the earth. Our forefathers are royalty in some cases.
Yeah, and we, you know, I was always referred to as a Mexican, you know, and I tell people, excuse me, I'm a Mayan. You know?
Wow.
I like that. All right, we're going to listen in because the music is absolutely beautiful.
let's welcome Art Across the Ages, an intergenerational comparsa celebrating the positive impact of art across the lifespan. And this is actually a collaboration of different groups, as you see there. You see Roots Table.
Yeah, you see the different signs, Trash Mashup, Community Music Center, Covia, an active aging organization, and can you hear that? It's a New Orleans-style brass band from Thurgood Marshall Academic High School. This comparsa is that Art Across the Ages, it features performers ranging from 12 to 94 years old. So it spans the generations here with the costumes, and they're made from upcycled materials.
Upcycled? Now I learned about upcycled. That's not just recycled. When it's upcycled, it's better than the original and more expensive usually.
Yeah, exactly. Te cuesta más caro.
Well, this is absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at this guy's having a lot of fun on the drums there. That is so cool. So following them is Ballet Folklorico Nezahualcóyotl. The beautiful colors there. This is a new comparsa joining Carnival this year.
Exactly, and you know what's beautiful is I caught them at the halftime show of one of the Warriors game, and I was just in awe, and I got to see a sneak preview of what we were having in the parade, and to see the baile and see the young children that are in the parade is just gives me so much hope that, you know, again, we're going to keep these traditions alive for decades to come.
Well, Anne's talking to one of these beautiful dancers. Anne.
This is Liliana. Tell us about your costume.
We're representing Sinaloa and Ballet Folklorico Nezahualcóyotl.
Very good. And you just started the parade route. How's it been going?
Good.
Good. What's your favorite thing about it?
All the things you get to see.
Very good. Well, we love seeing you. Your costume's beautiful. You can catch up with your girls. Have a wonderful time.
You know, Roberto, you were talking about all of the different cultures, traditions that take place all over Mexico, from Veracruz to Mazatlan or whatever. But this dance group, they perform dances from all the regions of Mexico, so that's kind of cool. And then the students are representing all different parts of the Bay Area, from Santa Rosa, San Rafael, counties, I mean, all over the place.
And that's just a small portion of them. They have other commitments today, so they don't have the whole entire group here with them today. So, but they wanted to be in Carnival for the first time this year, and soon we'll have them all. You know, one day we'll have the whole comparsa in the group in the Carnaval.
Well, we got the A and B team. We got the A team. I don't know who else got the B team.
That's true. So next up, right behind those dancers are some more dancers. This is Danza de los Diablos de Huclahuaca.
Yeah.
Huclahuaca.
And they call that the Devil's Dance.
Ooh.
This is one that they actually say dates back to the 17th century during the conquest of the Spanish in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Yeah, at the time in Oaxaca, there was a god in the shape of a devil, which the Spanish destroyed. So under Christianity, the Mixtecs, they became slaves of the Spanish. So to demonstrate their anger and their resilience against the Spanish, they created this form of dance to ridicule Christianity and the priests and, of course, the Spaniards.
And look at that. There you see the emblematic devil masks, as they are poking fun at all of the old traditions. Let's go to Ann on the street.
Megan. Yes, we are here with these fabulous dancers today. What is it like to dance down this street?
Oh, it's lovely. The weather's perfect. We're having so much fun today. It's incredible. Y arriba, Oaxaca!
Very good. Thank you. Watch out for the devils. Watch out for the devils. Oh, we got devils here. Okay. What's going? Okay. All right. Are you here to scare us?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're having a good time doing so we'll let you continue.
Now watch out for the whip. Watch out for those whips. They're coming at you.
Viva Oaxaca!
And now, the original music and dance of North America, the American Indian Cultural Center of San Francisco. Now here you're going to see a variety of dance styles. Men and boys are the grass dancers. That style originates from the plains. Some of the women are representing the southern and northern traditional dance styles. There you see other women and girls showcasing the fancy shawl. The shawl represents beautiful butterflies.
Yeah, culturally and traditionally, women are held in high regard. They are often holding leadership roles in tribes. So this group is an intertribal community. It's made up of many different nations from California and all over the U.S. And by the way, the original people of this area are the Ohlone tribe.
Well, we've got a variety of tribes represented here. I'll tell you what happened between last year and this year. My whole life, my family thought we were Navajo. They had that test done.
Oh.
We were Apache. We're a Mescalero Apache.
Wow.
So, which makes sense. My mother's family is from a region of eastern New Mexico, which lines up with the Apache. Somewhere along the way, someone got the family story wrong. And, you know, now we're going to go see if we can figure out more about that part of our culture.
You go learn about it, you know, your children.
Yeah, and but hey, we're talking about two enemy groups.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's shocking. Like for a lot of people, they'll hear that and go, whatever, you're Native American. Yeah. No, dude, Navajo and Apache, sworn enemies. All right, now you might hear that drum beat and recognize that that is not a normal sound that we hear at Carnival. You're right, that is the sound of lion dancers, but this is no ordinary lion dancer group. This is Lion Dance Me. They're actually pretty famous because they actually, back in 2012, they were on a TV show, America's Got Talent, and they made it pretty far. They made it to the quarterfinals. Yeah,
these are famous dancers here. The traditional Chinese American lion dancers, they, you know, of course, have taken it to an all-new level. Lion Dance Me infuses dance, acrobatics, and even martial arts. And it originally started as a high school group of boys and has since expanded to schools all around San Francisco. And as you can see here in the parade today, now run by men and women.
And they tell me women are in leadership positions now. We've got Chopper 5 up above showing you the beautiful aerial view of the Mission District, 24th Street in Harrison, where the sun is really starting to come out now.
They are our special guests, these line dancers. Every year we have a special guest and we invited them to be, because you know, we are connected in many, many parts of Latin America with Chinitos. In Nicaragua, there's a whole huge family called Pablo Wong tribe. And so if you look at the history of Latin America, there's a lot of Chinese. What I really appreciate about these line dancers is that they made a special line dance for Carnival with the colors of Carnival.
Lion Dance Me in their first year at Carnival San Francisco. Now, speaking about fusing a whole bunch of different cultures, this is mixtizo, not mestizo, mixtizo. And they got a little bit of everything for everyone. Mixtizo, Latino, Indio, Afro, Mexicano, Salvadoreño, Urbano, hip-hop.
Now say that fast 5 times. Well, this is cool because they celebrate culture through music with a mixture of genres. So it's hip-hop, it's rumba, it's Aztec dance. I mean, they've got it all. And this year's theme is the Angels Healing Hands, which kind of plays into the theme of the parade. Culture heals.
And in fact, they've named it that in honor of one of the group's members, Carolina, who passed away on Christmas Day last year. And they're drawing on all the healing hands of their ancestors and elders, who are the ones who passed on their culture. Now, you see that big white eagle in the middle of that float, the big eagle wings? That is the center, and the white eagle represents freedom. The costumes incorporate purple, yellow, and green. The women wearing backpacks of feathers represent various religions, Aztec, Mayan, and African deities.
Okay, so we met Haley in the coffee shop this morning, Joe, who is a part of this group, and she had her beautiful purple and green costume on, so she is dancing in here. We want to say hi to her, give a shout out to her, and also all of the other kids in the group. They work so hard on their routines, but they also get an education on their heritage through the music and dance, which makes them even more excited to join the crowd out here. Now this is the music that gets me going, Rebecca.
Well, I'm getting the goosebumps. I want to get up and dance. Yeah, no, this fires up your spirit early in the morning. On Sundays, like going to church.
It is.
We call it Carnival Church, but we meet on Monday nights.
You can have that every Sunday.
And I have, our volunteer production team. We meet every Monday night, and that's why I call it Carnival Church. It's going to get fed some spirit.
All right, right behind Mixtizo, our first entry representing the San Francisco School District, Avista Horace Mann Middle School. Their theme this year, Uniting Our Cultures. And they've got many different cultures represented at Horace Mann.
Yeah, the school says one of its many jobs is to educate the students by giving them a better understanding of what all of these cultures have to offer. So it doesn't have to be a melting pot, it could be a salad bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
Ensalada.
Ensalada. Horace Mann is one of the oldest middle schools in San Francisco, and the school has one of the oldest Spanish language immersion programs in the San Francisco Unified School District. So you have students of all different cultures learning about this one. And this is exciting too because Buena Vista has participated in Carnival for 36 years now.
It's the oldest school in Carnival, and there are several students who are now teaching music and dance who graduated from college with degrees. There's several of them who produce their own CDs, and actually there's quite a few of them that travel around the world performing.
So they're giving back. They're paying it forward.
That nurturing, feeding the hearts and soul and spirits of our children and creating musicians and dancers and keeping it positive.
In fact, there are many groups that have multiple generations. We're going to profile one in a little bit, but among them, Loco Blanco, which is right here in the heart of San Francisco's Mission District. Loco Blanco, of course, translates to crazy block, but it's much more than being crazy and walking around the block.
It's a little crazy.
It's always a little crazy. But, it's a youth and family organization focused on the empowerment of children through the arts. Now, their theme this year, Back of the Bus, a 14-mission love story. And all the costumes are going to be themed around something on the bus.
The transfers, look at that. The transfers on the still walkers.
Oh, that's right. That is the transfer. Okay, so the Back of the Bus, a 14-mission love story. It's a reference, of course, to the 14-mission bus. It's also a nod to the civil rights struggle and the culture and the history of a people who had to fight for what is theirs at times from the back of the bus, hence the theme.
And a 14 mission is symbolic because it runs all the way through the city. It gives rise to the laborers, the working class folk, the salt of the earth, who are slowly disappearing now, as we've been talking about, through gentrification. But the Mission 14 rolls on. They've marked up Mission Street. You can't go all the way down it anymore. But the Bus 14, it rolls on. All right, there you see orange costumes representing the costumes of the drivers of the Muni system. Loco Blanco says it's honoring the perseverance of these folks to maintain a tight grip and keep their feet firmly balanced, as you would on the bus, as they roll through a city that is rapidly changing around them.
You can also hear a fusion of music, too, if you listen closely. It's between the early 90s hip-hop, one of my favorite genres, merengue and samba, the kind of music you might hear on the 14 mission. So they are representing.
And I'll do a little shout-out to Tito, little Tito. And Mariana, my little Tito, my little boy, my mijito, and Mariana, my wife, who actually participate in this comparsa. Tito goes to Buena Vista School, and he's been there since kindergarten, and I'm just so happy and excited that he's a part of Loco Blanco. And I used to drum with Loco Blanco many years ago.
Roberto, it's about the drumming and the music and the dancing, but there's always a statement. This is a political statement. They always make some sort of statement that's important to the people of the mission.
And it's wonderful how many parents are involved, you know, from sewing costumes to building the float, and just a lot of good spirit. And Loco Blanco has participated in a lot of the gentrification marches, here in the barrio and at City Hall throughout the years. And they've also have participated in a lot of social justice causes, and they bring the spirit of the drum and the dance to a lot of the events, as well as participate in a lot of cultural events throughout the city.
Well, what's cool is they offer free drum, dance, and stilt classes, too.
Yeah.
People of all ages, 3 to 24 in their families, so.
And this year they've merged with Jamestown Community Center, which is a nonprofit organization here in our community, led by Mirna Melara, who's the executive director, who also is the president of the San Francisco Planning Commission.
So behind them, we see these little hot rods here, these pink hot rods. This is the SIA, Shriners of San Mateo.
They're lowriders.
They have their own lowriders, except they go a little faster, I think.
But they go a little lower.
Right, exactly. But these guys, they're a part of Shriners International. They support 22 hospitals for children in not only the United States, but also Canada and Mexico.
Yeah,
and
they're known worldwide for providing medical care for children with burns, spinal, and orthopedic problems. They help children with cleft lips or palates. They say one of the things that really makes up the common bond are the many different cultures that they can help.
So you see a clown right there, and you may notice them around with this float. They are the ASEA Shriners Clowns. They were organized back in 1980 to entertain children at the Shriners Hospital, so they're still doing that today.
All right, right behind them, Bay Area Rapid Transit, the BART Mobile, as they call it.
We know these guys well.
BART serves 4 counties, the public rail and subway system that connects cities throughout the Bay Area. BART Mobile is celebrating its 16th birthday. It has become a fixture in parades and events around the Bay Area, and BART says they are proud to be an official sponsor of Carnival San Francisco.
They're Sweet 16.
What a way to have a Sweet 16. Not the quinceañera.
Carnaval. Last year was a quinceañera. In Carnaval.
All right, coming up next, Sherman Elementary School. Now, these folks, they've been around a long time. They're 6th year participating in Carnival.
Now that is a fancy float there.
This is the Sherman Pride Inclusion Masquerade Ball. Miss Mo, the leader there, the teacher, she says, you know what? They wanted to have a costume that was inspired by the grandeur of Venice. And so they had students base it on the Venice tradition, the Carnivale, but they were told to go freestyle. So you see kids with different kinds of costumes, which they made up of their own. And let's go to Ann Makovic with my daughter, Viva.
Yes, Viva la Viva. Tell us about your costume.
My grandma made it. My grandma Paula, she lives in Arkansas.
It's beautiful. And how are you doing today? Are you having fun?
Good. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Awesome. Viva, continue on. Job lady.
She looks so beautiful, Joe. Now, was this your mom or your mother-in-law?
Mother-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah, as of course, like everybody else, you're racing around trying to get a costume together. My wife actually handed that responsibility to me about 10 days ago. And so I immediately called my wife's mom, Paula, and I said, help. So we got the gold and red.
I mean, it was a beautiful choice. Beautiful choice. She looks great.
She does. And we're proud to be part of this, multiple generations in Carnival. Now my family's part.
And hints of your own heritage. You were talking earlier about, learning about your own heritage, the Native American roots, but also the Puerto Rican roots as well, and
Dad's from
Tejanos.
Puerto Rico, and Jenny's family's, they're from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So you need to join Mixtizo.
Mixtizo, yeah. You know what? Ain't that America?
Ain't that Latino, though? We're all mixed.
Yeah.
All right, these young folks are from Beeline Vanessa Dance Company, an all-female youth dance troupe from the Bayview Hunters Point District, ranging in ages from 6 to 17.
This is their 4th year performing in Carnival, and this year's costume, so they pay homage to Oshun and Yemaya. Oshun is the goddess of healing, love, fertility, and Yemaya is the mother of all.
This company features multiple dance genres, hip-hop, West African, and Afro-funk, which is now a really popular form of music.
And we know these guys, they're actually getting a lot of cheers from the crowd. This is Recology. They're having a lot of fun out there. You've probably seen on the streets of San Francisco. They are one of our parade sponsors, so we love them. That antique garbage truck behind them, too. Look at this, if you could see the red truck. There you go. It's called Old Red, and it was built back in 1948.
When it was Sunset Scavenger Company, I remember they used to have those big steel cans, and they used to have to lift them to get the garbage out of the cans. And technology, changed that. Thank God, because I remember as a little boy seeing how hard those men worked, picking up the garbage. And so they still do a lot of work, so we honor them, and have them in the parade.
But they roll it to the mechanical device that flips the can over.
They got tech.
All right, let's welcome Cevallos, Danzas por Nicaragua. They provide free Nicaraguan folklore classes to people of all ages, and they grace us with their presence here today.
And their theme is Juntos somos un volcano. Together we are a volcano. That's what that means, representing the force and power they have together. And since together they are a force of nature.
Viva Nicaragua!
The float showcases that theme, the volcano theme. It's a volcano there with Nicaraguan symbols and heroes from their history. The music, they say this is a fusion this time, different rhythms heard throughout the country, from cumbias, palo de mayo, marimbas, chicheros, carnival music.
And the costumes, they represent their patriotic symbols and flags as well. Nicaraguans, they celebrate Carnival, and they feature groups similar to Drumline, so you're going to see a nod to that here too. But look at those colorful and beautiful, beautiful costumes.